Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Make Hijrah family, what's good? It's your boy Hamza Abu Dalia back again. Um, Today I want to discuss with you a concept that Brother Omar, well, it was kind of my concept, but Brother Omar's actually a living example of this concept that I'm talking about. And at first, understandably, he was a little bit reluctant. And when I tell you what this concept is, I think many of you are going to be a little reluctant as well. But I think as times are changing and it's slowly but surely becoming more and more difficult to, let's just say, to fly out or to leave your countries of residence and to move to another country of residence, this idea kind of made sense to me. And I think basically it was because I don't mind traveling. I'm like, if I had to go, I mean, I do. My ideal scenario for any 1 year is to travel. I travel like 4 times a year by plane, 12 to 15 hours of flight to and from Tanzania, back and forward from UK. And that has become that the idea or the concept that I would like you to consider is actually to become nomadic, or a posh word or philosophical word to use is stoic. Yeah. What do I mean? And obviously, I would love to hear your views, your fors and againsts in the comments. Yeah, that would be, let's have a discussion about this. But becoming a either individual, small family, or even a large family that is geographically nomadic, meaning within a short space of time, you and your wife, you and your husband, you, your wife and your children, you, your wives and your children, and whoever's in tow under your family unit can basically pick up and move to another destination within 2 to 3 weeks, maybe a week if necessary. Yeah. So obviously the idea came because, as we all know, to attain visas is becoming more and more difficult. Maybe in some places it's becoming more easy, alhamdulillah. But I think the biggest issue is becoming resident or being able to stay long periods of time in any one given location. Yeah. So my idea was, is it possible for a family to be basically set themselves up in what we call a family run business, where the head of the household, if it's a full family where the husband is the director, the wife is the manager, and children who are of age, maybe 14, 15 and upwards, are actually employees of that company, and it's 100% run and managed by that family. Yeah. Or in the case of a one-parent family, that parent, whether it be a brother or a sister, who have children of an age, 14, 15, 16 and upwards, are again employees of that family, of that business. But the business itself is able to pick itself up, move to another location just by opening their laptops and having an internet connection. It's an idea that I've been playing with because I actually considered doing it myself, to be honest with you. Even though it can be argued I'm kind of doing it now because I do 3 months in England, 3 months in Tanzania, which is the plan, which is the outset. That plan has been skewed somewhat at the moment, at the time I'm shooting this video, 2025. kind of been skewed because I've had some issues here and all that kind of stuff. But my situation is I'm a tradesman, and my trade is not one of those trades that I can pick up and move to another country. Why? Because of logistical issues, pay scale situation in other countries, etc., etc. But what if I had an online business where I just open my laptop, do what I've got to do for 4, 5, 6, 8 hours a day, close my laptop, and I've earned the dollar, the euro, the pound. Yeah. And as long as I was making enough money to look after my family and finance our lifestyle, it would definitely be a possibility. So then I played with the idea a little bit more, and I said, okay, what if, because to have that burden on one person, depending on what his online business is, to have that burden on one person is a bit much. So then my idea was, okay, so what if the husband, the wife, and the children who are of age formed a company? It doesn't have to necessarily be on paper, but the concept of a family business or online family business, whether that be one single business online doing one particular thing, or a series of smaller businesses bringing in funds from different directions. However, it's managed by the husband, who's the director, and the wife, who's the manager, and the siblings, let's say. I don't want to say children, because I'm not like, you know, my 7-year-old son is behind the computer 12 hours a day. No, I'm not talking about that. When I say children of age, children who can contribute to the business somehow, whether whether it be part-time or after college, after school, or whatever, they can help. Contribute to the running of the business, the online business. So, that's a concept that I've been thinking. Now, there's a few caveats to that, and this is where I need your input. So please feel free to put your comments, either for or against, or even things that I haven't taken in consideration, in the comments below. It would mean, okay, so we would never have a permanent home. Or there is a possibility that you will never have a 100% permanent home. 2, your possessions, your possessions would be minimal. Because if we're talking about maybe doing visa runs, going from one country, popping over the border, staying for a week and coming back, that's definitely possible. But in my experience, there are very, very few countries that will allow that. If they see that you're doing it, one day they may put a stop to it. So you might have your rented accommodation, you spent loads of money on furnishings and fittings, and you've set up home. Because at the present moment in time, your visa runs are going well. And then one day, a red flag is put up on your account, and they say, yeah, Abdullah, you've been in and out of Kenya 4 times this year and coming back, and you're only staying in Kenya for a week. Yeah, but you're on a tourist visa. So number 1, how are you making your money? And number 2, why exactly are you flying out of Somalia into Kenya, staying in Kenya for a week and then going back to Somalia for another 90 days, or in my case Tanzania, for example, for a 90-day visa? Bam, everything comes crashing down. So what would you do to alleviate that? Well, like I said, your possessions would be minimal. And it does sound a little bit extreme. When somebody's actually saying it. Because I'm talking about, okay, well, every man, husband, woman, wife, and child they should be able to pack their lives in 1 or 2 suitcases and what we call a pull-along case. So 3 suitcases. If you've taken a flight before, you know that you're allowed to have, I think it's up 22 kilos or 20 odd kilos in each case. You allow 2 cases, and then you're allowed to have a carry-on case. Yeah. So what I'd be proposing is every man, woman and child in that family, all their worldly possessions would be contained in those 3 cases. Yeah. It would mean any accommodation that you rent would be furnished. And that's it. When you arrive in a country, you would have already had in plan an exit strategy, which means, okay, we're in country A. This is going to be, until we find a way to stay here permanently or find a country that we can stay in permanently, our lives are going to be like this. Now, it sounds harsh to say we're going to be living out of suitcases. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you choose one country where you have rented accommodation, where everything that everybody owns, each person has 2 cases and a carry case. That's their life possessions. And within those life possessions is their means of business. Laptop, internet connection. We're at work. So when your tourist visa comes to an end, it's all right, pack up. We're going across the border and we're going to spend 2 weeks, a month, whatever, in that country and then come back. Now, I know maybe, I'm presuming here, but a lot of sisters wouldn't be down with that because of the kerfuffle of having to pack up and move and not having a place of stability. Yeah. A lot of husbands might be not too keen on that because of having to go through that pressure of organizing. Yeah. But I definitely think, and Allah knows best, it may come to that point where becoming a nomadic family, in order for you, me, and any family who wishes to make Hijrah or continue that Hijrah until an opportunity is placed before us where we can settle. The step before that is being able to up your sticks and move within a week's notice. Me and my wife had to do it when we was in Malaysia. Within 2 weeks, we had to sell all our positions, pack everything, and move to another country. Yeah. So this is the first video on the nomadic idea. What I would like to do is go into this subject a little bit more. Hopefully, inshallah, with your input, telling me why it's not a feasible idea, telling me why it could possibly be a feasible idea, and giving your nasiha, your advice on how a family or families could make this a possibility. Yeah. So we're going to call this the Nomadic Muhajir Project. Anytime I get any input from you all, I'm going to respond and reply. Obviously, yeah, I'm going to respond and reply, and we're going to continue this conversation backwards and forwards. I'd like to have from you ideas of how we could make it possible, ideas or reasons why it is not a possibility. So us as a jama'ah of people who are interested in this Hijrah idea can either expand on the idea or put it to bed. I think that's a good idea. So like I said, this is going to be one of a few or one of many videos, inshallah, discussing the possibility of becoming permanently nomadic or temporarily nomadic until an opportunity is placed before us that we have somewhere to be permanently resident. All right, people, so that's today's video. Please leave your comments down below, and have any questions about any other topic, leave it in the comments below. Your participation is always welcome. So until the next video, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.